Gracious Kevin was a chronic miscreant. Kevin had various escorts relying upon the piece of his life. I would like to ask you, however, are you separated? For what reason, James? How dare you? Roots Wendy Williams, the sovereign of daytime television, didn't keep down when it came to ridiculing Kevin Tracker, her ex, after his courtesan Serena Hudson unloaded him, and truly, she could have a point. It appears as though karma is having a field day with Kevin Tracker, since his fortunes have experienced a serious plunge once swimming in abundance. He's currently wound up in a very difficult situation, confronting monetary ruin and suffocating in the red. Seems to be Wendy Williams' triumphs ultimately. And the tattle factory is gobbling it up. It appears to be that reality has conveyed a hard smack right across Kevin Tracker's face. Recall when he left his better half, the popular Wendy Williams, for a hurl with a young lady called Sharino. Well, it seems as though karma has at long last found him. We're doing hotly debated issues. And being a hotly debated issue, applause. It's some kind of bizarre story, circumventing the web, in regards to my significant other. The titles were wherever the sensationalist newspapers, the paper's trustworthy news sources, were discussing this issue presently. Look, I'm an honest person, ecclesiastical. All you got to do is Google him, and you see the story now. Kevin finds himself in isolation, since his child mom, Sharina, appears to have lost revenue in him. And the dramatization doesn't end there. The inquiry at the forefront of everybody's thoughts is the way Wendy Williams, the syndicated program diva herself, can remain quiet in the midst of this turmoil. Plainly, Kevin Tracker is confronting the outcomes of his activities, and reality behind this tangled trap of connections is gradually unwinding. The interest started in 2007. When Kevin, actually wedded to Wendy Williams at the time, began sneaking around with Sharina. Rumors from far and wide suggest that their mystery sentiment began a long time ago, when Kevin was as yet hitched to. As a matter of fact, Wendy Williams herself, they figured out how to stay quiet about their undertaking for an incredible 15 years, before everything came crashing down in the public eye. Yet that is not all. Reports recommend that Kevin Tracker had a twofold existence, such a long time shuffling his union with Wendy, while carrying on a covert relationship with Sharina. Discuss a tangled snare of misleading. A nearby source, who conversed with correspondents about Sharina Hudson's undertaking with Kevin Tracker, said Kevin is with Sharina 3 or 4 times each week, frequently remaining over. However, at that point he returns home to Wendy, as though everything is typical there too. He's carrying on with a twofold life. The show began when Wendy and Kevin concluded their separation on January 22, 2020, stopping their 21-year marriage. Yet what prompted this emotional split? Well, everything started when bits of gossip surfaced that Kevin was betraying Wendy. And who was the other lady? In all honesty, Serena Hudson, an American masseuse, and cook Sharina immediately turned into an easily recognized name as the one who supposedly took Wendy Williams' significant other, procuring herself the infamous title of America's most renowned side chick of 2019. As per the sensationalist newspapers, there's very little had some significant awareness of Sharina's young life. But rather, at 34 years of age, in 2020 she wound up at the center of attention because of her dubious relationship with Kevin Tracker. Before this shameful undertaking, Sharina carried on with a moderately obscure life. Wendy and Kevin had been hitched for more than 20 years before Sharina entered the image, securing the bunch in November 1997. And surprisingly, sharing a 19-year-old child together, their marriage had been generally contention-free, until Kevin's issue with Sharina was presented, prompting their possible division. He exceeded all expectations to help her, putting resources into her schooling as a back rub specialist, and in any event, setting up a stand for her at a shopping center in North Carolina. Yet that is not all. On the grounds that Kevin made it a stride further and sent off a gems and dress line called Vish for Sharina. Sadly, it appears to be that none of her endeavors have made any huge progress. As though the monetary luxury wasn't sufficient, cozy photographs of Kevin and Serena before long began surfacing, leaving little uncertainty about the idea of their relationship. The proof continued stacking up, uncovering the genuine degree of their outrageous undertaking. It's really shocking the way that they figure out how to maintain their mystery, concealed for such a long time, yet the stunning disclosures don't end there. Simultaneously, Wendy Williams was constantly looking for treatment in a recovery office in Florida. While Wendy was striving to better herself, Kevin couldn't avoid the enticement and figured out how to meet with his escort just subsequent to visiting his significant other in recovery, untraveled to Florida to visit his significant other, and took Serena with him. The source said she remained at the inn while he went to see Wendy during the day. The source likewise added Kevin is enamored with Serena, yet he told her he can't leave his significant other. Yet the main explanation he is still with Wendy is that he and Serena can't deal with themselves. They need her cash, dissimilar to a popular figures who take mindfulness to safeguard their issues. Kevin Tracker appeared to do the direct inverse. It was a loosely held bit of information that something off-putting was going on. Kevin didn't keep down when it came to guaranteeing the greatest amount of solace for his mysterious darling, Serena. First, they dwelled in a rich rural home in Morristown, New Jersey, worth a stunning $765,000. Yet that wasn't luxurious enough for Kevin, as he made it a stride further and whisked Serena away to an in vogue Manhattan condo, discuss enjoying a life of ease and comfort. Here's where it gets considerably more outrageous. Bits of gossip have been whirling that Wendy Williams, the syndicated program sovereign herself, was very much aware of her significant other's issue. The murmur proposes that Wendy knew about the treachery, adding one more layer of intricacy to this tangled trap of connections. It's even been conjectured that Kevin was utilizing Wendy's cash to subsidize the sumptuous way of life he accommodated Serena. The situation starts to get interesting as the tattle factory stirs. Individuals can't resist the urge to ponder exactly the amount. Wendy Williams had some awareness of her better half's extramarital exercises. Kevin was a chronic miscreant. Kevin had various paramours, relying upon the piece of his life. This last one was the one that he had the longest-term relationship with. Wendy realized it. We should feel free to go there first on the grounds that you all realize I don't give passes yet. She was sincerely attempting to deal with the marriage she knew the entire time. And afterward, she recruited a confidential specialist. Guess you're thinking about how Kevin figured out how to get his hands on large number of dollars to support his courtesans' undertakings and sumptuous gifts. All things considered, the response is fairly direct. He held the job of Wendy's maker. Yes, that is correct. Kevin had a strategic, influential place in Wendy Williams' expert life, which gave him admittance to significant assets. Yet as the plot turns out to be seriously fascinating, Kevin Tracker winds up with regards to burning boiling water when news breaks that he has fathered a child young lady with. In all honesty, Serena Hudson, his then sweetheart. April, you petitioned for legal separation from your better half, right, Kevin? After almost 22 years of marriage, right? And 25 years being together, right? And due to his unfaithfulness anyway. Definitely you realize disloyalty is one thing, a full child is an entire nother subject. Oak. Definitely, I mean, you said in the New York Times Magazine, I'm an extremely sympathetic individual, yet there's one thing I would never be a piece of. And that one thing happened, gracious wow. And that was all there was to it. Definitely the child did it. Goodness, child, I'm not changing spoils. I need to be spoiled. No doubt this stunner disclosure sent shockwaves through Wendy's reality, leaving her completely crushed. Yet hang on, close on the grounds that the story takes an undeniably exhilarating turn. Wendy, known for her strong moves, fought back in the most legendary style in April 2019. Only multi-week, in the wake of seeking legal separation from Kevin, she executed a definitive influence move. She terminated him from his job as the chief maker of her own show. The Wendy Williams show Wendy wasn't going to allow her ex to keep on being a piece of her expert life after his thoughtless activities. And the momentous fresh insight about Sharina's pregnancy, obviously not set in stone to make a total separation, and cut off all binds with Kevin. I would like to ask you, however, are you separated for what reason, James? How dare you, Roots, following 9 months? Yes. I'm completely separated from an entryway, has shut in previous lifestyle. The new part has been so wonderful, wow. It appears to be that Sharina Hudson, the lady at the focal point of the outrageous issue with Kevin Tracker, supposedly brought forth a child young lady in Walk 2019. Unintentionally, that was close to a similar time when Wendy Williams sought legal separation from her ex after Wendy Williams tossed him out of her own and proficient life. Kevin Tracker burned through no time floundering in regret. Rather, he quickly continued on and took his relationship with his paramour to the powerful rumors from far and wide suggest that Kevin went hard and fast and proposed to the mother of his affection. Youngster with a luxurious ring, the sparkler being referred to is a 3-column clear center stone jewel radiance ring, which cost a marvelous $80,000. After all the monetary luxury and sumptuous signals, Kevin Tracker gives off an impression of being confronting serious monetary issues with Wendy Williams' famous syndicated program. The Wendy Williams Show reaching a conclusion in 2022. In the midst of her private matters, Kevin's once liberal provision installments have unexpectedly halted. Reports are twirling that Kevin hasn't gotten any monetary help from Wendy since mid-2022. The purpose for this abrupt stop, Wendy's significant abundance, is presently safeguarded under monetary guardianship, meaning she doesn't approach her own cash until she is considered intellectually fit for overseeing it dependably, with Kevin professing to be down and out and battling to earn enough to get by. It seems like the tides have changed radically in this wild connection with Sharina. I have fallen behind on the majority of my bills. I right now live locally that expects installments to the property holder's affiliation, and I'm behind on that charge, Kevin said in his documenting. He went on, by